What's going on, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim here, and I want to talk about some stocks I bought and just my thoughts on what I'm going to do moving forwards here. So I did buy a little bit of immersion just to add a little bit to my portfolio. I do currently have this stock, and like I said before, I'm just going to continue to average through at this current price. A lot of these stocks I'm going to be talking about here are already falling knives. They are continuing in free fall, but if you're long-term minded on some of these, I think they're at a great place to buy. Now be aware that a lot of these stocks are very risky, okay? Hint, hint, workhorse. They need to prove themselves. But I did decide to buy 20 shares at this current price because this is one of my YOLO plays and I said, hey, why not? It's a small percentage of my portfolio and I was okay with adding a little bit more. Your risk tolerance may be different, okay? But just be aware that a lot of these stocks are quite risky. So I did add a position in workhorse and let's look at it on the chart. All right, and looking at workhorse, we are just continuing as a falling knife. I think the downtrend is almost to an end here. Be careful with this one. But looking at history, this was our resistance previously. And then we broke out with this huge hype, the USPS contract, all the infrastructure hype, the EV hype, just the big inflow of money. All these things contributed to just this euphoric sensation with workhorse. It just went on a complete run. But do be aware that this was our previous resistance, so it's very possible we use this as our support. I believe this company is definitely in a better footing here than before. But one thing to think about is there is a lot of downward pressure on this one with all of these bag holders. A lot of these bag holders, although many of them likely did some tax loss harvesting, took their losses at the end of last year. When it starts pushing, it's going to be very quick to take profits. So I suggest if you're in this one, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. But personally, when this runs up, I'm not going to be scared to skim some off the table, especially if you're buying at this price here. Now, I am down a couple $100 in my portfolio, so I took it as an opportunity to just average down, and this definitely puts me in a better place when it runs up. So I also added to my Matterport position today. I just bought a couple of shares, and like I said before, I'm just going to continue to average through January. I do think this can come down a little bit further. We are trying to establish an older support here right at that $14 level. We'll see if it holds. I'm doubtful, although on the RSI, we are oversold. I'm doubtful. I think this can come down a little bit more. We have those headwinds throughout January and also earnings coming up, so I think people are going to be a little pessimistic through earnings, at least up to earnings. We'll see how that goes. But I do expect Matterport to come down further, although at this current price, I do like to accumulate it here. Now, if you are a trader, you want to wait for this to reverse. You want to see that green coming in, breaking that 21-day. You want to see that turnaround, or you want to see that golden cross on the MACD, some green candles coming in, and upside on the RSI. So if you're short term on this, wait for this to reverse. Okay, although what I can potentially see is this coming up a little bit, retesting, and then falling, forming that head and shoulders, and probably falling further. I think this is the perfect setup, especially with the timing in the month. Okay, we're right near the end of the redemption of warrants. Our next negative catalyst here is the lockup expiration. So just be aware of that. That's at the end of the month here. So this can likely fall further before finally being, getting that buying pressure coming in, just pushing it higher. So keep an eye on Matterport. I definitely like this. This is one of my metaverse plays. This is definitely one of my metaverse plays, along with immersion. And I do like that one at its price. If you're long-term on the metaverse, I think being long on Matterport and IMMR immersion make a lot of sense. Now, I'll just quickly mention Cleveland Cliffs. This is Dropbox's chart, but I did buy some Cleveland Cliffs and also some ChargePoint. I do like them at their price, although you can watch for Cleveland Cliffs to come under 20. That's very possible at this range. It has been there before, not too long ago. But I did take a little bit of profits at that 23 and 24. I like to add at the 22 and under. So I did add a little bit of Cleveland Cliffs and I add a little bit of ChargePoint, although it's very likely that ChargePoint can fall further. I do believe in the long-term prospects of ChargePoint. So keep an eye on ChargePoint. A lot of these stocks are still falling knives. A lot of these are. And Dropbox included. Dropbox included. So this is another one. We did have a little bit of a run the other day, although we're getting it taken back. We're very likely to retest that $24. And it was also a previous support here. It bounced really quickly off this level. I think this is a great place to accumulate Dropbox. This has been beaten down quite considerably. We're just about 30% from our highs, if not more. And I think this is a great place to start accumulating Dropbox. I do have a position in it and I did add some today, obviously. But if you're short term on this, keep an eye on it. You can get this likely a little bit lower. You can likely get this in that 23.50 range. Keep an eye on Dropbox. I do like Dropbox for the long term though, and I figured right now is a great time to buy. Anything under 25, I think it's a decent place to accumulate through this next couple of months. Well, that's basically it. Just a quick update on what I bought There are definitely a lot of deals out there besides the 6 that I mentioned. We've got Indy, we've got all kinds of stocks out there that are deals right now, in my opinion. We've got Volta, Indy, Senseonics, there's just too many to list. But thanks as always, guys, for watching. Consider hitting the like and subscribe. I do put out videos every single day, sometimes twice a day. Thanks as always, and I will see you next time.